Hello. So we're back again today. I figured I would go into. I'm going to try to make this one a little bit more in depth and hopefully give you a better drawing than I have in the past couple days. It's been a little rushed, I think, and I want to make sure that this one isn't rushed. Um, I can't guarantee it'll be good, right? Because that's part of what we're doing here is trying to make it so it's um, so I learn how to get better at this over time. But we're going to see what we can do. So we are now on to Daisy. I was very happy to see that Princess Peach when I drew her. I had a lot of people that were interested in that, and it was by no means viral or anything, but it was definitely something. It was more than average, and so I'm curious to see how you guys will like Princess Peach as well, or Princess Daisy. Sorry, I think Daisy is. I don't know her very well as a character, and I'm just intrigued by uh, by her and being in this game, and I think it should be fun. I have this little Mario book for my son that kind of teaches the background of characters, and it talks about Daisy and about Tatanga and all of this stuff. And I know nothing about all of that. So, in the comments, if you have any recommendations of places to look, I mean, I guess I could look at a Wikipedia or something, but I'm curious to know the story and if it's something that you guys like. Do you like that story? Is it intriguing? Am I missing much by not knowing the story? Or is it something like, it's okay? I know that Daisy plays a lot of sports games, and that's where I've primarily seen her. And but Tatanga and all that, like none of that is even remotely involved there, obviously. So uh, curious to see if the background is kind of relevant. After I draw all of the Super Smash Bros. Characters, which again is the goal by the time the game comes out, uh, I think I'm gonna go try some drawing books to see if I can learn some good technique there too. I've never been trained in how to draw. I just enjoy drawing, and so I'm curious to see if with a little bit of guidance or whatever, then how that would go. So we shall see. We do that. My plan is just to kind of get a couple drawing books and draw along. I really like uh, Drawing with Jazza, that YouTube channel. I think Jazza is a great guy. He seems awesome and a good family man that I would love to support. And so I actually intend to get one of his art books and start looking at that and try to so that way um, and try to see if I can do some of his drawings. And yeah, I encourage anyone to follow along. And I won't show off too much of the book, obviously, so everyone can have an opportunity to support him and all that. But I think it would be interesting to kind of get it going. And if you like what you see, then you can go ahead and pick up the book or whatever. But from what I see, he just seems like an awesome guy, and his style is really good. You can tell he's quite professional in it, and so I'd be curious to see what he teaches in his art book. And I think that should be probably good for me. I think a lot of art is just practicing and kind of doing it over and over and over again, Maybe one day I'll want a full on class or something, but I just don't know. I think, um, yeah, I don't know. Art's one of those things I feel like you don't really need to have, a full on teacher for. I mean, you want mentors and things to kind of guide you, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. My wife, actually, she is. So, a terrible thing just happened. You probably just noticed a big jump here, and I guess the internet cut out for a second and it lost the whole in between here while I was drawing this. So, anyways, I was in the middle of explaining that my wife, she is a vocal performance major, and so, when we have a conversation of, is schooling helpful for that, to help her, continue that? I never know how to answer. And so I'm not sure exactly how to move forward. But, anyways, the rest of the drawing I feel like turned out really well. I was having fun. I talked a bunch about the piranha plant for some reason. I don't even remember how I got onto that tangent, but there was a good 5 or 10 minute long tangent about the piranha plant and how it doesn't get a whole lot of love. But in Smash Brothers, it can, which is really fun. I was, talking to about how in Mario Party you can be the Goomba, you can be the Koopa, you can be all these other characters, but you can't be the Piranha Plant. And the Piranha Plant's been around since day one. So, anyways, really cool, and so sorry that I just completely lost connection there. But I wanted to show you the final thing here. This is Fighter 13E. I give it a 6 out of 10. If you see over here on the left, you can see that it kind of makes this curve shape a little bit. It's more dynamic than mine. Mine kind of makes a more of a straight line, and so it's not quite as curved. And so I want to make it I need to keep working to try to make my drawings a little more dynamic. I think the face, while it doesn't look exactly like Daisy, I think it's by far the best I've done on a more human character recently, and so I'm happy about that. And it's crazy that everyone's got ears and eyes and nose and a mouth, right? But the way that they are proportioned on the face and all of that is what really makes it distinct and lets you know, like, hey, this is Daisy, versus someone else entirely. So, while I think this character, looks cool over here on the right, like looks good, I wouldn't ever look at the face and say that's Daisy. And so that's something I'm going to have to figure out as well. I can't mention, or I can't remember too, if I included this earlier or if this was part of what got cut off. But after I draw all of the Super Smash Brothers characters and I get that out of the way, it's been such good practice, and I'm so excited about it and excited to go through all of them. So getting it out of the way is a terrible way to say that, because I love it. I think if you want to learn how to draw, drawing Smash Brothers characters is probably the best way to do it, like, honestly. But anyways, I also want to like draw through books and stuff, and so I'm going to take some art books and try to draw along here so you can follow along. And one creator that I'm interested in, right, is Jazza with Draw with Jazza, and very talented guy, and would love to support him. So kind of my thought is I could take those pieces there that and kind of draw, and you can see kind of what that looks like, and with the intent that if you really like this stuff, then you can go out and purchase the rest of the book, because I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be really, really good. My first goal is to get through all of this, all of these characters by December 7th, because that's coming up really soon. So I want to do that. I want to do that soon. I mean, there's going to be 80 characters at the end of this, or at least 75 in the base game. So I got a lot of drawings to do, and only about a month now to do them. So kind of crazy. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this drawing. Oh, I had people in the comments say they wanted to see it without the sketch lines. Here's what it looks like without the sketch lines. One day I may go back and try to do coloring and kind of take it the next step further. But for now, I'm trying to learn how to do the basic form now,